Hi, I'm Dr. Nidhi Khare. Now in today's lecture, I'm going to talk about leader-member exchange theory, or in short, we can also call it LMX theory. So students, leader-member exchange theory proposes that the type of relationship leaders have with their followers here are members of the organization. So the theory proposes that the type of leadership leaders have with their followers is the key to understanding how leaders influence employees. And leaders form different types of relationships with their employees. Now, relationship may be high quality or low quality. In high quality LMX relationships, the leader forms a trust based relationship with the member. The leader and member like each other. They help each other when needed and they respect each other. In these relationships, the leader and the member are each ready to go above and beyond their job descriptions to promote the other's ability to succeed. In contrast, in low quality LMX relationships, the leader and the members have lower levels of trust, lower levels of liking, and lower levels of respect towards each other. These relationships do not have to involve actively disliking each other, but the leader and member do not go beyond their formal job descriptions in their exchanges. In other words, the member does his job, the leader provides rewards and punishments, and the relationship does not involve high levels of loyalty or obligation towards each other. So, if you have work experience, you may have witnessed the different types of relationships managers form with their employees. In fact, many leaders end up developing differentiated relationships with their followers. Within the same work group, they may have in-group members who are close to them and out-group members who are more distant. So those students who have work experience, I'm sure they have experienced this. If you have ever been in a high LMX relationship with your manager, you may attest to the advantages of the relationship. Research shows that high LMX members are more satisfied with their jobs. They are more committed to their companies. They have higher levels of clarity about what is expected of them, and they perform at a high level. Employees' high level of performance may not be a surprise since they receive higher levels of resources and help from their managers as well as more information and guidance. If they have questions, these employees feel more comfortable seeking feedback or information. And because of all the help, support, and guidance they receive, employees who have a good relationship with the manager are in a better position to perform well. Given all they receive, these employees are motivated to reciprocate to the manager, and therefore they demonstrate higher levels of citizenship behaviors, such as helping the leader and co-workers. Being in a high LMX relationship is also advantageous because a high quality relationship is a buffer against many stressors, such as being a misfit in a company, having personality traits that do not match job demands, and having unmet expectations. The list of the benefits high LMX employees receive is long, and it is not surprising that these employees are less likely to leave their jobs. The problem, of course, is that not all employees have a high quality relationship with their leaders, and those who are in the leaders outgroup may suffer as a result. But how do you develop a high quality relationship with your leader? It seems that this depends on many factors. Managers can help develop such a meaningful and trust-based relationship by treating their employees in a fair and dignified manner. They can also test to see if the employee is trustworthy by delegating certain tasks when the employee first starts working with the manager. Employees also have an active role in developing the relationship. Employees can put forth effort into developing a good relationship by seeking feedback to improve their performance, by being open to learning new things on the job, and by engaging in a political behavior such as the use of flattery. Interestingly, high performance does not seem to be enough to develop a high quality exchange. Instead, interpersonal factors such as the similarity of personalities and a mutual liking and respect are more powerful influences over how the relationship develops. Finally, the relationship develops differently in different types of companies, and corporate culture matters in how leaders develop these relationships. In performance oriented cultures, the relevant factor seems to be how the leader distributes rewards. Whereas in people oriented cultures, the leader treating people with dignity is more important. Should you worry if you do not have a high quality relationship with your manager? Please think. One problem in a low quality exchange is that employees may not have access to the positive work environment available to high LMX members. Secondly, low LMX employees may feel that their situation is unfair, even when their objective performance does not warrant it. Those who have a good relationship with the leader tend to have positive performance appraisals. Moreover, they are more likely to be given the benefit of the doubt. For example, when high LMX employees succeed, the manager is more likely to think that they succeed because they put forth a lot of effort and had high abilities. Whereas for low LMX members who perform objectively well, the manager is less likely to make the same attribution. In other words, the leader may interpret the same situation differently depending on which employee is involved, and may reward low LMX employees less despite equivalent performance. In short, those with a low quality relationship with their leader may experience a work environment that may not be supportive or fair. But students, despite its negative consequences, we cannot say that all employees want to have a high quality relationship with their leaders. Some employees may genuinely dislike the leader and may not value the rewards in the leader's possession. If the leader is not well liked in the company and is known as abusive or unethical, being close to such a person may imply guilt by association. For employees who have no interest in advancing their careers in the current company, such as a student employee who is working in retail but has no interest in retail as a career, having a low quality exchange may afford the opportunity to just do one's job without having to go above and beyond the job requirements. Finally, not all leaders are equally capable of influencing their employees by having a good relationship with them. It also depends on the power and influence of the leader in the company as a whole and how the leader is treated within the organization. Leaders who are more powerful will have more to share with their employees. Now, coming to some ideas for improving manager-employee relationship. Having a good relationship with your manager may substantially increase your job satisfaction. It will improve your ability to communicate with your manager, and it will help you be successful in your job. Here I am going to give you some tips to develop a high quality exchange. Create interaction opportunities with your manager. One way of doing this would be seeking feedback from your manager with the intention of improving your performance. Be careful though. If the manager believes that you are seeking feedback for a different purpose, it will not help. People are more attracted to those who are similar to them. So find out where your similarities lie. What does your manager like that you also like? Do you have similar working styles? Do you have any mutual experiences? Bringing up your commonalities in conversations may help. Utilize impression management tactics, but be tactful. If there are work related areas in which you can sincerely compliment your manager, do so. For example, if your manager made a decision that you agree with, you may share your support. Most people, including managers, appreciate positive feedback. However, flattering your manager in non-work related areas, such as appearance, or using flattery in an insincere way, like praising an action you do not agree with, will only backfire and cause you to be labeled as a flatterer. So please always avoid that. Be a reliable employee. Managers need people they can trust. By performing at a high level, demonstrating predictable and consistent behavior, and by volunteering for challenging assignments, you can prove your worth. Lastly, be aware that relationships develop as early as the first week of your working together. So be careful how you behave during the interview and your very first days. If you rub your manager the wrong way earlier on, it will be harder to recover the relationship. So students, I hope you have got an understanding of how to improve your relationship with your manager. If you work on these points, if you keep these points in mind and do not repeat your mistakes, you'll definitely have a good and stable relationship with your manager. So what LMX theory implies for leaders is that one way of influencing employees is through the types of relationships leaders form with their subordinates. These relationships develop naturally through the work-related and personal interactions between the manager and the employee. Because they occur naturally, some leaders may not be aware of the power that lies in them. These relationships have an important influence over employee attitudes and behaviors. In the worst case, they have the potential to create an environment characterized by favoritism and unfairness. Therefore, managers are advised to be aware of how they build these relationships. Put forth effort in cultivating these relationships consciously. Be open to forming good relationships with people from all backgrounds, regardless of characteristics such as gender, race, age, or disability status, and prevent these relationships from leading to an unfair work environment. Thank you.